Disclaimer: it was a fanfiction story created by me. Please don't take it seriously. There is no match in this story and real life.
This terrace wasn't just any ordinary terrace for them, it was a special terrace tent house, something they had lovingly and trustfully built together since childhood. This place was their shared comfort zone, their little secret world where no one else had the right to enter. No one ever even dared to step into that space, not because of rules, but because of Jungkook's strong presence and the unspoken boundary around their bond. Back then, they used to spend most of their time right here. So many nights they had spent together in that place, laughing, crying, dreaming. But now everything had changed. Nothing was like before. It had been so long since the two of them had sat here together. This one magical place which used to feel like a hidden treasure to them now stood silent, lonely and empty. That place which used to echo with their laughter and warmth was now abandoned by time and distance. And today it was at that very same place, their forgotten comfort spot, where Jungkook called Wine and asked her to come to him. Sometime later, Wine reached the terrace tent. As soon as Jungkook saw her, he pulled her to a hug. He wrapped her in his arms like he finally found peace. Wine also hugged him back. Just after a few moments, Wine asked softly, Wine, what's wrong? Why did you suddenly call me here like this? Jungkook turned her around and from behind, then spoke with pain in his voice. Jungkook, I am missing my best friend, the one who's forgotten me. I miss the moment we used to sit here together. I miss the way it used to feel when you were close to me. I miss those nights when we stayed up just talking, joking and laughing. Hearing those words, one felt her heart ache. She began to feel guilty, ashamed. It's not like she loved Taehyung more than Jungkook now. No, not at all. Yes, she does love Taehyung, but Jungkook's place in her heart, that was something no one could ever replace. He wasn't just a friend, he was her safe place, her lifeline. But it was she who had started to create distance only because she wanted Jungkook to move forward in his relationship with Maria. She knew how much Jungkook loved Maria. But today, hearing the pain in his words, Wine realized maybe she was wrong. Her decision to stay back might have been good in thought, but in reality, it was hurting Jungkook deeply. And truth is, she was hurting too. She missed her best friend just as much she missed having him by her side. In every moment, every feeling, suddenly Jungkook even tighter, and while hiding her face into his neck, tears fell from her eyes as she whispered softly. Wine, I am sorry, I never wanted to hurt you. Hearing her soft, tearful voice made Jungkook's heart break into pieces. And while gently patting her back, he said, Jungkook, hush, it's okay. It's okay, please forgive me. I shouldn't have said all that. I know how much you love me. You could never do anything bad. It's me. I am the stupid one for saying all that. I am really sorry. Please forgive me. Seeing tears in her eyes felt like his soul was being ripped apart. To cheer her up, he pulled her out of the hug and suddenly held his ears and started doing sit-ups in front of her. Seeing him do that, Wine smiled at her teary eyes, and in a low voice she said, Wine, have you forgiven me now? Jungkook, first you tell me, have you forgiven me? I admit it, I am a totally stupid, rude, crazy person, but still I am yours, only yours. Please forgive me, just don't cry, okay? When I see tears in your eyes, my soul starts trembling, and today when those tears came because of me, it feels like I should punish myself in a way that I can truly repent for the sin. One walked closer to Jungkook, who was still sitting down with his ears in his hand. Looking so guilty and sad, she sat in front of him and softly held his ears with both hands. Not in anger, but with care, with love. Her eyes were full of emotion. One, you are such an idiot, totally crazy, but you are my idiot. Stop hurting yourself like this. I feel pain when you do this to yourself. Jungkook looked into her eyes. Those eyes full of warmth felt like home. While holding his ear, she gently placed her forehead on his. When I can't stay angry with you. Without you, I don't feel complete. Jungkook closed his eyes. One small tear fell. He held her hands gently and smiled with a little relief. Jungkook, thank you for not leaving me even when everything is changing. One, change is just part of life, but my place in your life, my love for you will never change. Even if someone else comes into my life or yours, I will always be here for you. Once words made Jungkook smile warmly, but then suddenly his expression changed. He raised his eyebrows and looked at Wayne with a suspicious glare and asked in a teasing voice, Jungkook, so are you going to tell your best friend what's going on between you and Taehyung? I mean, for the past few days I have been noticing that you are spending a little too much time with Taehyung. One face turned red from embarrassment. She gently lowered her eyes and stayed silent for a moment. Jungkook kept looking at her with curious eyes. Then softly, without pressure, he said, Jungkook, when you can tell me anything, right? You know I am always with you. No secrets between us, okay? One slowly looked up at him. Her heart was racing. She took a deep breath and finally spoke, her voice low and trembling slightly with emotion. I don't know when it started, Jungkook. At first, I thought it was just respect, admiration, maybe. But day by day, I started feeling different. She paused as if gathering courage to speak the words she had been hiding in her heart for so long. Whenever he smiles, it feels like everything around me just stops. When he talks to me, I forget how to speak. When he is near me, my heart beats like crazy. I feel nervous, but it also makes me happy. Jungkook listened quietly, his expression softening with every word. When he doesn't even do anything special, just simple things, but they affect me so deeply. And you know what hurts the most? Not knowing what he feels, not knowing if he ever notices the way I look at him, the way I feel around him. I'm scared, Jungkook. She looked away, her eyes shimmering with held back tears. When I don't want to run our friendship, I don't want to lose him, but I also don't want to lie to myself anymore. She finally looked at Jungkook directly. Her voice now steady and honest. When I think I have fallen for him, Jungkook, I am in love with Taehyung. There was a long silence. For a second, she feared what Jungkook would say, but the next moment Jungkook suddenly shouted with joy. Jungkook, what? Oh my god, you are serious? You love my Taehyung? He grabbed her hands and started spinning her in excitement. Jungkook, oh man, I knew it. I knew it. Something was going on. I mean, come on. The way you look at him, that nervousness, it was love. Oh my god, Wine, I am so happy for you. Wine was smiling now, a soft blush still on her cheeks. Jungkook pulled her into a hug again and whispered, Jungkook, you deserve happiness, and if it's Taehyung, then I know you are in safe hands, and I will always support you. As they stood their comfort place, their precious tent wind was blowing softly and stars were shining above them. Everything was silent, but a peaceful kind of silence. Jungkook, sometimes I feel scared. What if one day we become so far from each other that we forget what this feels like? When you know our bond is like the sea. Jungkook, the sea? When yes, sometimes the waves go far away, but they always come back. It takes time, but they return. Jungkook smiled, a soft, pure smile only wine could bring. Jungkook, I know anything in the world can change, but you are the one part of my life I will never let go. Even when I am with Maria, even when you are with wine. Taehyung. Jungkook. Yes, even when you are with him, I will still look for you when I feel lost. I will still come to you when I am broken. I will still hug you like always because you are not just my friend, you are home to me. Wine with teary eyes but smiling, and you are my strength. They leaned their heads on each other, not romantic, not dramatic, just two hearts that will always be together no matter where life takes them. But something was there, hidden, something that couldn't be seen, but it existed. Maybe a silent feeling buried deep in someone's heart, or maybe something was about to happen, something that no one ever imagined. That night they both spent time together like old times, and from the very next day everything started becoming normal again. But this time Jungkook and Won were giving time not just to their own lives but also to each other. They had now understood that their well-being wasn't in being apart but in staying close to one another. And just like that, a few more days passed peacefully. Then one day Jungkook saw the right moment and decided to talk to his brother about wine. Jungkook, Taehyung, do you trust me? Asked suddenly. His sudden question confused Taehyung. Taehyung, huh? What? Jungkook repeated his question. Taehyung, obviously I do. Of course I trust you. Jungkook, then tell me the truth. Taehyung, which truth? Jungkook, the one I really want to know. Do you love wine? Asked seriously. This sudden question made Taehyung nervous for a moment, but he quickly calmed himself down and then with a soft smile and a shy voice he said, Taehyung, yes Jungkook, I fall in love with her. Jungkook smiled after hearing Taehyung's answer and said, Jungkook, congratulations, Taehyung. Seriously, in this world full of stones, you have chosen a diamond. Taehyung smiled nervously, thanks. Jungkook, so Taehyung, since when have you been hiding these feelings in your heart? He asked teasingly. Taehyung, around 6 months. Jungkook, so what now? Are you waiting for someone else to take her away before you finally decide to propose? He said with a done face. Taehyung, huh? No, actually I'm just a little scared. What if she rejects me? Jungkook, don't worry, you are not something that can be rejected. You are rare, bro. Then still I am feeling nervous and kind of insecure about telling her my feelings, he said sadly. Jungkook got up and walked closer to his brother. He sat beside him, gently patted his shoulder and said, Jungkook, have some faith in yourself, Taehyung. Whether she accepts you, feelings or not, you will only find out after you tell her. You can keep those emotions locked inside your heart forever. If you don't get your courage now, someday you will regret not speaking up. I have said what I truly feel. The rest is up to you. Taehyung went into deep thought after listening to him. Meanwhile, Jungkook got up and started to walk away. But after taking a few steps, he suddenly stopped, turned around and said, Jungkook, Taehyung Won's birthday is in 3 days. I am planning a surprise party for her. If you really love her and don't want to lose her, then you won't find a better moment than this to confess your love. After struggling for a long time between his heart and mind, finally the heart won, and Taehyung decided that he would propose to Won on her birthday. Whatever happened after that, he will deal with it. Who knows what's written in his fate? 3 days later, finally the day arrived. The day Jungkook had been waiting for so eagerly. Today is his Won's birthday. Every year on her birthday, Jungkook takes her out, gives her surprises, gifts, and does a lot to make her smile. But this year was different. This year he didn't show any excitement. He didn't react at all in front of Won. He started pretending as if he had completely forgotten her birthday. Because this time he had planned something big, a huge surprise party at his house just for her. Everyone knew about it. Jungkook's parents, Won's mom and dad, her brother, everyone except Won. And poor Won was feeling low since morning, thinking that everyone had forgotten her birthday. She didn't get a single birthday wish after waking up, not like other years. It hurt her a little, but she stayed quiet, thinking it's still early. Maybe people will remember slowly. But one thing she was sure of, even if no one else remembers, Jungkook will never forget her birthday. But things got worse when it was already 4 in the evening and still no one had wished her. Heartbroken, she quietly went to her room, and that's exactly what everyone had wanted, so they could surprise her. Taehyung had helped Jungkook a lot in organizing this party. The plan was this: in the evening, everyone would gather at Jungkook's house, except Won. No one would tell her anything. Instead, Jungkook would send a gift parcel to her house in his name. Inside there would be a dress and a small note. The note would have Jungkook's house address written on it and the time she should arrive for the party. Everything was well planned. Maria had also been invited, but only Jungkook and Taehyung knew that Taehyung was going to propose to Won at the party. No one else knew. That day, both brothers went to a mall to buy clothes, and there, Jungkook looked at his brother and said, Jungkook, you select your dress. I will choose one's dress myself. Taehyung nodded in agreement, giving him a soft smile. Then Jungkook began looking around carefully, checking every piece like he was searching for something truly special. And finally, he selected a simple yet stunning purple long gown for a boy. It wasn't heavy or flashy, just elegant, soft, and graceful, the kind of dress that quietly stole hearts, just like wine herself. When the clock struck 6 in the evening, everyone had already reached Jungkook's house. His place was glowing with fairy lights, balloons, flowers, all for her. Laughter and excitement filled the air, except for one thing. She wasn't there yet, but the plan was working. At the same time, a delivery arrived at Wyan's home. She was sitting in her room, heart sinking deeper into disappointment with every passing minute. Until she heard the knock, she worked out, confused, and saw the delivery guy hand her a small parcel with Jungkook's name on it. She quickly took it and went back to her room, heart pounding. She opened the gift box, and the moment she saw what was inside, she gasped softly. The gown was absolutely beautiful, purple, simple but magical. She ran her finger over the fabric, her lips parting in surprise, but her heart truly melted when she noticed a small folded note tucked beneath the dress. She opened it. Wear this dress and came to my house at 7. The handwriting was clearly Jungkook's, just one sentence, but used to weep away her sadness. As soon as she finished reading the message, a soft, bright smile bloomed on her lips. Finally, at least someone remembered her birthday. One understood one thing clearly. Jungkook had definitely planned some kind of surprise gift for her, but what she didn't guess was that it could be a surprise party, and such a big one. One wore the dress Jungkook had sent. The moment she put it on, it fit her so perfectly, like it was made just for her. Then she did light makeup, kept her hair open, loose and flowing. Even though she was already very beautiful, but today this dress, which was chosen by Jungkook, made her beauty shine even more, as if the moonlight had warped itself around her. Exactly at 7 p.m. Wayne reached Jungkook's house. But wait, what is this? Why is no one here? Why is the entire house so dark? Even all the lights inside the house are off. Maybe Jungkook is on the terrace. All these thoughts started running through her mind, one after another. Confusion, doubt, curiosity. Wayne slowly opened the door, and as soon as she stepped inside, everyone shouted loudly, surprise! Balloons went up, lights turned on, music started, and the whole house filled with claps and cheers. Everyone happy birthday, Wayne. Wayne stood still. She was shocked. Her eyes became wide, her mouth stayed open. Slowly her eyes filled with tears, happy tears. A big smile came to her face. Wayne, with teary eyes, this is for me? Jungkook came forward, took her hand and smiled. Jungkook, of course, silly. Who else would I do this for? Happy birthday, my sweetheart. Wayne him tightly, and tears started flowing from her eyes. Truly, she felt like the luckiest girl in the world to have a friend like Jungkook. With a heart full happiness and emotion, she softly said to Jungkook, One monkey, who told you to do so much for me? I would have been happy just if you wished me. Jungkook smiled gently and replied, Jungkook, today is your special day. How could I not celebrate the most special day of your life? And anyway, one more big surprise is still left. One looked surprised. One more surprise? What now? What can be bigger than this? Jungkook, something that you have always wished for, and now making your every wish come true has become my habit. No matter how hard it is for me, I just want to see you happy in every situation. Wayne tried to understand Jungkook's last few words, but something about them felt heavy. It was like he had hidden some deep pain behind those smiling words, like his heart was quietly screaming something, but he was still smiling for her. Before her mind could run wild with more thoughts, Jungkook softly said, Jungkook, when your second surprise is here, just turn around and look behind you. As soon as he said that, Jungkook stepped aside and stood quietly. Then a very slowly went turned around, and the moment she did, her eyes widened in shock. Her lips stayed slightly open. Her heart started beating so fast it almost echoed in her ears. Because right in front of her, Taehyung was down on one knee, holding a ring in his hand, and then he took a deep breath and said softly, Taehyung, when I never thought I'd fall in love with someone, but the way you get nervous around me, stutters when I talk, celebrates the smallest things like they are biggest wins, and everything about you made me fall in love with you. He smiled. I don't know when it happened, but I am sure now I love you. I didn't want to run our friendship by telling you, but if I stay silent any longer, I will only end up hurting myself more. You are special to me, more than just a friend. And if you give me the chance, I will show you how much. One felt like she had turned into stone for a moment. This was exactly what she always wanted, but now that it was happening, her heart was beating so fast that even her breath was shaking. No words were coming out of her mouth, only she knew the storm of emotion going on inside her heart. She was so happy. So happy that even 1,000 words couldn't express it. But along with that happiness, she was nervous, so nervous that her hands were trembling, her legs felt weak. Then slowly she turned her face toward Jungkook. Jungkook looked at her with a soft, warm smile. He gently nodded his head, giving her silent supporting, telling her without saying a word, It's okay, go ahead, I am here. Taking a deep breath, one slowly raised hand, she bowed her hand forward toward Taehyung, her fingers shaking slightly, and with a soft, honest voice, eyes filled with emotion, she said, One, I love you too, Taehyung. Everyone started clapping loudly with joy, and Taehyung quickly hugged Wine. His happiness was clearly visible on his face. Everyone was truly happy. Wine's parents, Taehyung's father, everyone except one person. Taehyung's mother. She was looking straight at Jungkook without blinking. Jungkook was smiling, but his smile didn't look real. Yes, he was happy, but that happiness didn't feel pure. Inside his mother's heart, a storm had started. She still couldn't believe. Was it really true that between Jungkook and Wayne there was only deep friendship and nothing more? Everyone came forward toward the new couple, gave them congratulations. Some started teasing them sweetly. Taehyung laughed, Wayne laughed too. Then Taehyung looked at Jungkook and said, Taehyung, thank you so much, Jungkook. If you didn't give me courage, maybe I would have never received this happiness. Jungkook, anything for Wayne. Taehyung smiled, then said jokingly, Look, now your best friend is mine. He said this while hugging Wayne from behind. To that, Jungkook looked at Wayne deeply and said, Jungkook, you can make her your girlfriend, even your wife, but still you can never take that place in her heart which has always belonged to me. Hyung, I don't just live in her heart, I live in every single heartbeat of hers, in her every breath, in her soul. The much I have right over her that you can't even imagine. You can change situation, but not habits, and I am her habit. Taehyung, our relationship has just begun, but wait and watch. I will love her so much that she will forget even you, he said with a soft smile on his face. But inside that smile there was a glimpse of pride, a silent desire to own every beat of her heart. Maybe he didn't just want her love, he wanted her completely, and the space Wayne once gave to Jungkook, he now wanted to erase it and claim it for himself. Jungkook, Hyung, erasing me from her heart is impossible. Her soul lives in me, he replied calmly with a small smile. Taehyung, let's see. After hearing Jungkook's words, Wayne smiled, and without thinking she ran and hugged Jungkook tightly. They both stayed like that for a while. Then the party went back to fun. Music, dance, food, everything was great on the outside. But even in this happiness, everyone's heart were holding different questions. different thoughts. The story isn't over yet because sometimes what we see isn't real, and what's real takes too long to be seen. After 2 months later, Jungkook's father organized a big party to celebrate the success of Jungkook, who had taken their business to the top level. All their relatives, big business partners, and close friends were invited to that party. One also came with her parents. She was wearing a beautiful white maxi dress, and she looked so gorgeous that no one could take their eyes off her. Everyone was secretly admiring her beauty. She gave Jungkook lots of congratulations for his big achievement. Jungkook was busy talking with some business partner. Will Wine was standing with her parents and talking to them. Just then, Taehyung also came and joined them. They were talking with each other, and that's when Taehyung's father came toward them and said, "Dad, so how's your relationship going?" He asked with a smile. Hearing such a question, Wayne blushed and looked down shyly, and Taehyung smiled and said, "Taehyung, Dad, look, just by your words, my sweet girlfriend got so shy," he said jokingly. Wayne's parents started laughing. "Dad, how long will you keep calling her my girlfriend? Now start calling her your future daughter-in-law too." After hearing that, not just one but even her parents were left wide-eyed in shock. Taehyung was both shocked and happy at the same time. Seeing the expressions on one and her parents' faces, Dad smiled and said softly, "Dad, this girl is really very sweet, and whenever she comes into this house, she brings peace and happiness with her. Actually, the real problem is now she comes here only sometimes." Then he gently caressed Wayne's head with affection and said, "But now I want your daughter to become my daughter, so that she doesn't just visit, she lives here with us as our daughter. That's why I want to get these two got married as soon as possible." One's parents smiled happily at his words, and one too was glowing with joy. One's dad, "She's your daughter too now. And as for the wedding, if Wine and Taehyung are ready, then I am also more than happy to agree. Dad, so tell me both of you, do you want to marry each other?" Taehyung, "Yes, of course, Dad," he said with a big smile and excitement in his voice. Wine, "Yes," she said shyly, blushing with a soft smile. "Dad, how about fixing the wedding date 3 months later?" Wine's dad, "I have no problem at all. I am fully ready," he said with a happy smile. Taehyung, "Dad, I also don't want to lose her at any cost. I want to make her my wife as soon as possible." He smiled warmly while looking at Wine, and seeing the love in his eyes, Wine also smiled shyly. "Dad, then it's settled. I will announce this good news right now." Saying this, Dad held both Wine and Taehyung by their hands and brought them to the center of the hall. He picked up the mic and said, "Dad, hello everyone." Hearing his voice, everyone turned toward them with curiosity. Jungkook also looked at them confused and curious. "Dad, on this joyful occasion, I want to share another happiness with you all. 3 months from today, my elder son, Taehyung, will be getting married to this sweet girl, Park Wine." Everyone started clapping with excitement and joy, but Jungkook stood there shocked, staring at Wine. Then he walked over to her and asked, "Jungkook, is this true?" Wine, smiling, nodded. Jungkook, "And you didn't even tell your best friend?" Wine, "Actually, I didn't even get the chance. Uncle just asked us about it now, and we said yes." Jungkook just kept looking at Wine. "Wine, are you upset with me?" Jungkook gave a small smile and said, "Jungkook, can I ever be upset with you? By the way, congratulations. You are about to start a new chapter in your life very soon, so best of luck." After saying that, Jungkook walked away. Before Wine could stop him, Jungkook's dad called her over to introduce her to some guests. What had suddenly happened to Jungkook? What was going on in his mind? It was hard to say, but Jungkook's mom, she was standing quietly in a corner, observing everything. She too was shocked by the sudden announcement. It more than shocked, she was disturbed. Everyone seemed happy. Everything looked perfect on the outside. Still, for some reason, her heart felt uneasy. Something wasn't right, or maybe something was slowly going wrong. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into 2 whole months. Time passed so quickly, and both best friends were moving ahead in their love lives, hand in hand with the person they loved. And yes, they were happy, truly happy. Taehyung had now become a permanent part of one's life, whether it was spending hours talking, walking together in quiet lane, or even helping her in her dad's restaurant. He was always there. Every moment felt complete when he was around. Everything seemed perfect, almost, except for one thing: Wine and Jungkook's friendship. No matter how much they tried, they couldn't give each other the time they used to. Where they once were talked for hours and laughed till their stomachs hurt, now they could barely speak for 1 or 2 minutes. One was happy with Hang, truly deeply, but somewhere deep in her heart she was really missing her best friend. The day she had spent with Jungkook. Those silly jokes, their random late night calls, teasing each other, laughing over nothing, and those long walks with no destination. She missed those moments, those little things, that happiness. She couldn't find them anywhere else. His absence around her was hurting her even more, no matter how much she loved someone, and no matter how much someone loved her. She knew one thing for sure: the friendship she had with Jungkook could never be erased from her heart. That bond is something that even love can replace. So finally one day Wayne made a plan, a picnic plan just for the four of them: Taehyung, Jungkook, Maria, and Wayne herself. She called each one of them personally and told them about it. They all agreed happily. It had been so long since the four of them had done something together. They decided that the picnic would be after 2 days. The plan was made: Jungkook and Taehyung would pick up Maria first, then they would go and pick up Wayne. As for the picnic spot, they chose a beautiful lakeside place. The location was selected by Maria herself. A beautiful lake, cool breeze, old friends, new love. But what no one knew was that this holiday would change something. 2 days later, just like it was planned, after picking up Maria, Jungkook and Taehyung came to pick up Wayne too, and Wayne was already standing near her door, waiting for them eagerly, her eyes shining with excitement. As soon as their car stopped in front of her house and Jungkook and Taehyung stepped out from the car, Wayne quickly started running toward them with a wide smile on her face. After a few hours, they all reached their destination. Near a peaceful lake, they arranged everything for their picnic. It was a very beautiful place, so calm and quiet, and the light breeze in the air made the whole place feel more peaceful and comforting. There was a kind of silence that gave peace to the heart. Spread out a bedsheet on the grass near the lake. Then they took out the food they had brought with them. They kept all the items on one side, and all four of them sat down together. As soon as one sat down, Jungkook gently placed his head on her and laid down. Then he started talking with her. It had been a long time since he and Wayne got a chance to spend peaceful time. His sudden action made Maria burn with anger from inside. She was foaming with jealousy, but she didn't show it on her face. She just smiled awkwardly and looked away, pretending everything was normal. On the other side, Taehyung was smiling, and when she finally felt peace, there was calmness in her heart, and why not? Her best friend was with her, laying peacefully with his head on her. In that moment, what more could she ask for? She had everything her heart needed right there. All of them got busy again in talking, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. While they were talking, suddenly Maria purposely asked Wayne a question, one that she knew would hurt Jungkook, because deep down she just wanted to create distance between Jungkook and Wayne no matter what. Maria, so Wayne, you love Hyung a lot, right? And Jungkook, he's your life. Wayne, smiled softly. Maria, then imagine one day a terrible situation comes and you have only one choice. You can save just one of them, either Jungkook or Taehyung. So tell me, who will you choose? Hearing that question, Wine got nervous. Her heart suddenly felt heavy. Both of them were the most precious people in her life. They were her heart, her happiness, and just thinking about something like this scared her deeply. What if something like this really happened in real life? What will she do? She went into deep thoughts, her face full of tension and confusion. And Maria, she was feeling secretly very happy inside. Her face stayed calm, but her heart was celebrating. She knew no matter what answer one gave, one of them, either Jungkook or Taehyung, will definitely feel her. Just then Jungkook got angry and said sharply to Maria, Jungkook, what kind of useless question are you asking Wine? He said angrily, which made Maria even more furious inside, because the perfect chance she had to create a rift between the three of them was slipping from her hands. But before things could go further, Taehyung spoke to Jungkook calmly. Taehyung, what happened, Jungkook? Why are you getting angry at this poor girl? She just asked a question for fun. It was only a joke. What's there to get so mad about? Jungkook, but Hyung, Wine interrupted. Wine, it's okay, Jungkook. I don't have any problem with her question. And Maria, if ever in life such a moment comes where we all are in trouble and I have only one chance to save one of two brothers, then I will save Taehyung. Maria became extremely happy after hearing her answer, because this was exactly what she had hoped for. Finally, her plan had worked. Taehyung was also very happy inside because Won had chosen him over Jungkook. That meant a lot to him. But Jungkook, he didn't feel upset, not at all. He just smiled gently and said, One, I was just saying like that. It's not like I will really do something like this. And anyway, such a situation will never come, said innocently. Jungkook, forget about doing it. Just hearing such a things from you makes me angry, One. And you know that very well. As long as I am alive, I won't let even a scratch come near you. One smiled. I know no one can harm me when you are with me. Seeing them talk like this made Maria even more irritated. But Taehyung simply smiled and said to Wine, Taehyung, you know Wine, you are our heart truly, and as long as we are around, no one will even dare to think about hurting you, said with a warm smile. After hearing that, Jungkook and Wine both smiled, and Maria started thinking to herself what I wanted and what actually happened. Nothing went my way. Then Wine stood up and slowly walked near the lake, admiring its beauty. Seeing her go, the other three followed and stood beside her, all quietly looking at calm waters. Wine, this lake is so beautiful, isn't it? Maria, yes, and just as dangerous. Hearing that, Wine and Taehyung looked at her with confusion, not understanding what she meant. Then Jungkook, still looking at the lake, said in a calm voice, Jungkook, take the car to the nearest hospital as fast as you can. Looking at Wine like this, Jungkook was feeling like he was losing his life. Tears were continuously falling from his eyes. He was crying loudly and calling Wine again and again, like he had gone mad after seeing her in this condition. He kept blaming himself for Wine's condition. Because of pain and anger, he was completely broken. Finally, they reached the hospital. Jungkook quickly took Wine to the doctor and said, Jungkook, doctor, please hurry. Hurry up and treat her. Look at her. What has happened to her? Why is she not waking up? Please do something fast. Save her somehow. I want my Wine safe and okay, no matter what, he said while crying and shouting. The doctor quickly took her to the checkup room and asked everyone to stay outside. Then they started checking Wine. On the other side, Jungkook was outside feeling extremely restless. He was walking here and there, again and again. He was crying like crazy and pulling his hair in frustration. Taehyung was also crying silently, while staring at nothing. His condition had become miserable too. He was troubled by both guilt and anger. He was feeling like he couldn't even protect the girl he loved. Just then the doctor came out of the room. Jungkook rushed to the doctor quickly. Doctor, it's okay. There's nothing to panic about. She is just unconscious. Maybe she fainted because of some kind of fear or shock. She will wake up in a little while. After hearing that, Jungkook finally felt relieved. He quickly went into the room, held Wan's hand and sat beside her. Taehyung and Maria also came inside the room and sat three quietly. A little while later, Wan slowly opened her eyes, and the very first name she said was Jungkook. Everyone was still in the room. As soon as Jungkook heard her voice, he quickly hugged her tightly and started crying. This was the first time such a strong man was crying like that, and for Wan too. It was the first time she was seeing Jungkook crying. Jungkook, for a moment I really thought I lost you. If anything had happened to you, I would have right there. Why don't you ever listen to me? You always do what you want. Have you ever thought what will happen to me if something happens to you? He said while crying. When I never thought about it, and I never will, because I know even if death itself tries to take me away, you will fight death and bring me back. True, because Jungkook's obsession for her really was like that. Jungkook, first you tell me this. When I told you not to, then why did you jump into the water, worried and angry? When I didn't jump into the water actually because the boat was shaking so much. Maybe I fell because someone bumped into me during all that pushing and shoving. Then Taehyung came closer to Wine and sat beside her. Tears were flowing from his eyes. The guilt was clearly visible in them. While crying, he said, Taehyung, please forgive me, Wine. If possible, please forgive me. I am such a coward that when you needed me the most, I couldn't be of any help to you. I am really very sorry. When it's okay, Taehyung, this is not your fault. It was written in my fate. That's why it happened. Don't blame yourself. Even after hearing so many comforting words, Taehyung's tears didn't stop. His heart was itching badly with pain. He was feeling so much guilt that at that moment he quietly got up and walked out of the room. After the incident that happened with Wayne, life had taken a serious turn for all four of them. Taehyung had become even more possessive about Wine. He always wanted to be near her, and when he couldn't be physically present, he did stay on calls with her for hours. Wine did feel happy that he was so attentive and caring, but sometimes she felt a strange unnecessariness. She couldn't explain why. Still, she chose to ignore this odd feeling, convincing herself to move forward. After all, only a few days were left for their wedding. She just wanted to be happy with Taehyung and being her new life with joy. On the other hand, Jungkook, he had changed drastically. He was no longer the same playfully cheerful Jungkook. Now he buried himself in his work, avoided conversation, and spent most of his time locked up in the office. He did return home late at night and leave again early in the morning. His parents barely saw him these days. They were worried, very worried about this sudden change in him. Many times they tried asking him what was wrong, but his answer was always the same, I am fine. Even Wine barely got to talk to him now. Their chats were reduced to short calls. Only when she called, he'd just ask how she was and then give an excuse about being busy with work before cutting the call. As for Maria, yes, they were still in a relationship, but even with her, Jungkook had become distant. He barely spoke, barely made her, almost as if he was trying to hide from everyone, even from himself. And just like that, everything continued. It was until the day Jungkook went back to that same lake. Actually, it all started when he suddenly noticed that the chain Wine had gifted him was missing. It was a small thing, maybe for the world, but for Jungkook it was priceless. A gift from Wine, a symbol of her presence in his life, a treasure he never wanted to lose. He searched everywhere, his home, his office, every place he had been to in the last few days, but no luck. The chain had simply vanished. And then just 3 days before Wine's wedding, a thought crossed his mind. Maybe I lost it at the lake that day. Without wasting a second, Jungkook got into his car and drove straight to that same picnic spot. The moment he reached, a strange silence wrapped around him. The breeze, the trees, even the ripples in the lake, everything felt like it remembered the day, just like he did. He started looking carefully, his eyes scanning every inch of the lake's edge, and then after a long search he saw it. Lying right at the edge of the lake, tangled in the grass, was that very chain. He picked it up gently, his heart urging and healing all at once. Maybe it felt that day when I was carrying her out of the water. As he stood there, lost in the moment, still holding the chain tightly, a voice suddenly spoke from behind. "Man, who are you and what are you doing here?" Hearing the man's voice, Jungkook turned around. As soon as the man saw Jungkook's face, he raised his eyebrows slightly, as if trying to remember something, as if Jungkook's face triggered an old memory. "Jungkook, actually my chain fell here, so I came to get it." Jungkook showed the chain to the man while speaking, trying to explain. After a few seconds later, something clicked in that man's mind. His eyes widened slightly and he quickly spoke. "Man, you are the same guy, right? The one who came to the shore swimming while carrying a girl?" Jungkook, shocked and confused. "Yes, but how do you know that?" "Man, actually I am the guard of this picnic spot. That day when you all came here, I saw you entering, but after that I went home to eat lunch. My house is a little far on the other side of the lake. After eating, when I was returning, I saw you people in the boat, but I was still very far. Before I could reach here or help you, you all had already left." Jungkook, "It's okay, uncle, and actually it was our fault. We shouldn't have gone into the lake like that." "Man, Son, the girl you carried that day, is she alright now?" Jungkook, "Yes, uncle." "Okay, then I will leave now. I have some work and I am getting late." After saying this, Jungkook started walking away, but just then that man stopped him and said, "Man, Son, wait a minute. I need to tell you something." Jungkook, "What?" "Man, that day when that girl fell into the water, I may have been very far away, but I saw everything clearly. What really happened actually." After hearing that man's words, Jungkook was shocked, but more than shocked, he was angry. He was so angry that if someone had come in front of him at that moment, he might have hurt them badly. He was feeling restless. He didn't know what to do now. After thinking for a long time, he made a decision, a good one. He knew that anger wouldn't solve anything. Whatever had to be done, now he must do it calmly and with a clear mind, so that everything stays fine and no problem or trouble comes up, because there were only 3 days left for one's wedding and he didn't want anything to go wrong or any hurdle to come in the wedding. Thinking all this, he quietly returned to his home.